what will make me happy? Where does happiness come from? Those are really important and good questions. And in some way or another, they're questions that we ask ourselves very often. So I'd like to give my perspective on that. Happiness and contentment come from being able to accept things as they are. You might have seen or heard of the meme, it is what it is. Accepting that is really the key. Does accepting mean that you shouldn't strive to change it? That situation. It could be something about yourself, a goal that you want to achieve. I would say no, actually. There isn't strictly a contradiction there. You accept it in the sense that you understand it's happening. So I think a good example of that is that you are beginning to notice an uncomfortable truth about yourself, about why that problem exists. And a lot of people, they don't accept the problems in themselves. They project it outward in order to avoid facing themselves. So you come to accept that the problem is your own in some way, shape or form. And that acceptance isn't really going to kill you. Or it might kill a little part of you, I guess, in a sense. But that's okay, because you have to evolve as a person. And so the acceptance then can go hand in hand with change, because you have to see things as they really are in order to change them better. Now, there's some things that we also can't change as well. Damn capitalism oppressing me, not, keeping us, corrupt. Everything is about money, and other people's privilege is stopping me from getting on in life. Or it could be a worry about politics or global warming as well. And there's just so little that each individual person can do about that. And so coming to accept that as well, maybe even seeing how your behavior can link up with it, can show you that you're less than perfect as well. Acceptance is understanding then that things are just not perfect. Things are really complicated. We're in a web of conditioning by society, difficult personal experiences. We just are who we are as well in terms of our personality and what we naturally care about and need. And some of those things are very difficult to change. But wishing that they would change is causing suffering. And likewise, there's some things that you can change. So it sounds a lot like I'm talking in contradictions, but the key principle is balance. A balance between self-responsibility and empowering yourself in life and understanding that you can't change everything as well. A balance between understanding that you have a core nature, and that core nature in some ways is going to clash with society, maybe your family, friends, workplaces, but also understanding as well that you've been, or we've all been, conditioned and have experienced trauma in some way, shape or form that's causing us to behave in some unhelpful ways and patterns. It's a balance of both. Some things are changeable, particularly conditioning, with the right tools and techniques. And some things are just harder to change. But the key thing is acceptance in yourself and of the wider world. So, how do you get to a place of acceptance? Probably the key way is to observe and be open. Those two things, observation, being open. Meditation does both. Mindfulness does both. An open self-inquiry being still in that process, not being distracted by things like, I don't know, a Facebook tab or whatever while you're doing it. These will open the gateways for you to change what can be changed, and to accept your role in those things that can be changed, but also to tap into your core nature. Your core nature is quite like that of a newborn baby, provided they're not, born into a war zone or something like that, just something utterly chaotic. That core nature is of peace, of naturalness. The baby is babying. Trees are treeing. The planet is planeting. Society is societying. So when we do that, the mindfulness and being open, meditation, whatever it is, you can accept and then you can change. Unhelpful patterns are driven by running away from ourselves. At the core. Morning. And so, by facing yourself and being honest, and being forgiving of yourself as well, because again, we're in this web of conditioning. Trauma happens, bad things happen. And they add layers on top of our essential nature. By seeing all that, accepting all that, forgiving all that, you more than ever before open up the possibility for change where it can happen, and you can forgive yourself for the things that cannot be changed. And that will make you more mindful and more peaceful. Suffering comes from thoughts and from emotional attachments. It's like a wheel of suffering. On one side of it, an aspect of you or what you believe or what you're attached to, it gives you pleasure. And then later on in time, that very same aspect or attachment causes you suffering, and it's like a cycle. And sometimes those cycles can get quite extreme. We suffer particularly badly, and that really opens up a gateway for change in ourselves, but also a great deal of questions like, how am I going to cope with this? What's going on? Why is this happening to me? And so you've got to be able to detach and see things as they are, to enjoy more of what you could call happiness and contentment. The whole crux of it was non-acceptance. The whole time. Non-acceptance of isness, beingness, that things just happen and we form emotional attachments and opinions of those things. And so I hope this can be of help in your journey to peace, harmony, contentment. Let me know what you think and feel, and if you have any other tips as well. Thank you. Have a great day.